watching a global celebration of all things Notre Dame, where we invite you to watch, connect, give, and vote. This is Notre Dame Day, live from the LaFortune Student Center.
And everybody, welcome again to Notre Dame Day. If you're just joining us for the first time, welcome to our hour 28.
That's a lot.
Of Notre Dame Day, a 29-hour global celebration of the University of Notre Dame. If you're a regular viewer, thank you. We promise you these hours and this telecast will not disappoint. My name is Mike Collins, the voice of Notre Dame Stadium, and I'm a proud member of the class of 1967, which means our senior football team. Undefeated, untied.
Oh, no, they were tied.
No, they were not tied.
66 against Michigan State.
Oh, yeah, well, that's a technicality.
Oh, okay.
We would have beat them in overtime. I'll be one of your co-hosts for the first ever Notre Dame celebration, and I'm here at the LaFortune Student Center, which you all remember, dead center on the campus, just a few yards away from the university's main building and its iconic Golden Dome. This will be our broadcast headquarters for the remainder of this evening, 2 hours, as we celebrate all things Notre Dame with students, alumni, parents, friends, and fans all around the world. And I am delighted to be joined by my co-host for these next 2 hours, fellow Domer Jeff Jeffers, and I believe we did, if I have my math right, 15,000 newscasts together.
I would say that's about right, yeah.
And only had 4 fights.
Yeah,
4.
yeah.
So.
Yeah. It's Michael, thank you. It's great to be with you, and it's great to be at Notre Dame. We've got a great hour coming up. We'll meet the Dean of the Graduate School and learn a lot more about Notre Dame's graduate students and graduate programs. And we'll offer you a wide range of musical entertainment from a cappella to bagpipes. But first, it's hard to believe this story. We have on the phone right now a member of Notre Dame's class of 1936. That's right, 1936. He's 101 years young, and he's made time in his busy schedule to be with us from Sarasota, Florida, to be with us for Notre Dame Day. His name is Joe Newman. Now, you might not expect someone Joe's age to have as busy a schedule as he does, but he does have a busy schedule because he's running for Congress. That's of the United States, not of Florida. So, Joe, welcome to Notre Dame Day.
Well, thank you for having me.
Joe, you grew up in Mishawaka. And
yes.
As a boy, you'd come to campus and watch Newt Rockney's football practices. Tell us what that was like.
Well, all those kids would, all of us, 10 or 15 kids would hitchhike out there or hop a ride on the streetcar and the tail end of it and ride out there and watch practice. And then sneak into the game on Saturday.
That sounds great. I understand you get around pretty well. You still drive your own car.
I still drive my own car.
That's
right.
Great.
Well, isn't a Notre Dame man supposed to? What the hell?
Joe, you've got a great background of your life. At one time, your parents were exiled to Siberia by the Tsar, and your family eventually made it to America.
That is correct. As my father, fortunately enough, my father was released to go fight the Japanese, and by the time they got him to Vladivostok, the war was over. So he was released.
Joe, even though you were raised Jewish, you attended Notre Dame as a commuter in the 1930s to study accounting. And there's some great pictures, Jeff, by the way, of the trolley that used to run up and down Notre Dame Avenue. What was Notre Dame like in those days?
Well, it was a nice little community, actually. Everybody was, it was 2,700 students, as I recall, and everybody was friendly. I don't think they can take any action against me, but I used to carry my own food, and every once in a while, somebody eating in the dining hall would bring me a chicken leg or something.
I think the statute of limitations,
so I was
Joe,
eating
is
somewhat off of Notre Dame during the time. Yeah. But I was very fortunate. They gave me jobs all the way through. My whole college career out there cost me a total of about $250.
That's worth about a week or a month these days.
That is correct. Yeah. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm running for Congress, because it's pretty difficult for kids to go to college now.
Oh, absolutely. By the way, Joe, I spent a lot of time down in Sarasota, and I'd like you to be my congressman. When was the last time you've been back to campus, Joe?
I think it's about 3 years ago, because of the campus. We had dinner out there, and it's beautiful. You can brag about the campus. But I thought it was pretty nice when we were there. We had the lake, and if you want an old story, we used to go to the lake and go swimming, and some of the priests would be throwing bread out in the water so that the fish biting at the bread would catch the hair on our legs, and they thought they were having a lot of fun.
Joe, you made a big impact and left a lasting legacy for the South Bend community when you were here. You founded Logan Center in 1950.
Jeez. Tell
Tell us about that.
Well, Sophie, my wife, we had a retarded child. I'm sorry, I use the word retarded, a mentally disabled child. She was injured in the birthing process, and after she was about 5 or 6 years old, and we could find nothing available to help us or to help her, and my wife decided that there ought to be others with similar problems. She went out and found 3 other women, and they formed a group, and they enlisted me, made me president, and sent me out to try to educate the rest of the community on the needs for having classes and all those things available for kids who happen to be injured at birth or born mentally handicapped.
Hey, Joe,
And
go ahead.
And in order to get some attention, we figured that the best thing to do was to start a school of our own, which we did. And if you've read this story, we had about $24 in the treasury, and there were about 10 or 12 of us, and we hired a teacher and contracted to pay her $2,400, and we started our school. And within months, the community just fell in line and thought it was a great idea, and has supported it ever since.
All right.
So we owe a lot to the community, and we owe a lot to Notre Dame, because the student body out there has helped a great deal.
Well, Notre Dame still, and the student body, works so closely with Logan Center. I mean, it's a really one-on-one relationship. Hey, Joe, tell me, why are you running for Congress?
Well, I'm running for Congress because I'm a bit unhappy with the situation as it is. And this may be part of my Notre Dame legacy, the desire to create a more civil society, and to oppose us being just an assemblage of individuals concerned with our own self and our own gratifications. And I seem to see a trend in people beginning to believe that way, and I don't think it's right. And there's another line which may associate it with Notre Dame. Rockney used to come to the high schools about every year and talk. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I'll always remember him saying is that when they would ask him why little Notre Dame was playing big teams, he would say, if you can't play them, you can't beat them. And so I figured that if I don't like what's going on, the only way we can change it is to get out there and begin the battle.
What a great philosophy.
All right. When's the primary down there, Joe?
Primary is not until August.
All right. Very good. Well, everybody in Florida, in the Sarasota area, remember, vote early, vote often for Joe Newman. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Good. God bless you, Joe.
Now let's go to our Notre Dame reporter, Mark Nauman, who's with a bunch of people wearing kilts.
Thank you. Now, let's welcome the Notre Dame Bagpipe Band. The Notre Dame Bagpipe Band is comprised entirely of students and faculty from Notre Dame, St. Mary's College, and Holy Cross College. Tonight, they will perform the greatest of all fight songs, the Notre Dame Victory March. Wow, that was great. Now let's send it over to Amanda Starantino in our Notre Dame Day studio. Great
Thanks.
job, guys.
Thanks, Mark. I'm with Sarah Martin, a second-year graduate student in the Master of Fine Arts program. And the Master of Fine Arts degree at Notre Dame is for artists and designers with exceptional talent and skills. And the program combines studio work with academic studies in art history and criticism. Students may concentrate in ceramics, graphic design, industrial design, painting, photography, printmaking, or sculpture, or a combination of all of them. So, Sarah, what are you doing exactly?
Well, I'm a graphic designer, and I'm really focusing on dark mythologies and how they manifest both in literature and in visual form. So I have a lot of experience with kind of an Eastern heritage, or what we inherit from Europe. So the Hans Christian Andersen, the Brothers Grimm, Cinderella and Little Red Riding Hood, those kind of things. But I thought it was really important to get a Western perspective. So last summer I traveled to Nepal, where I researched the way that visually dark mythologies are manifest. So in Nepal, for example, there's a Nawari caste. It's very old, and they decorate their babies with bright gold jewelry and dark kohl eyeliner. And the reason that they do this is because they believe that if you don't decorate your child, the spirits will come and steal them. And so the ghosts and spirits, they come and they get distracted by all the shiny baubles that you decorate your child with. And so in that way, death and disappearance, and it's a developing country, so death during childbirth is a very real thing. To deal with this, they create this kind of ritual and spectacle that accepts death. Death sits kind of closer to the surface of their society and of their culture, but it's dealt with in this kind of beautiful way. So I wanted to research that, to incorporate it and bring it back to the U.S. And incorporate it into the way that I deal with mythology, visually and in literature.
Okay, that's unbelievable. I have never even heard of anyone studying that, so that's really awesome you're doing that. But what about the broader impact of your research? How were you able to bring that back here, and have you been able to apply it here at Notre Dame?
Absolutely. Actually, so last year I developed an interactive dark fairy tale. So I used what I had learned and I brought it back into kind of an innovative platform. It was coded for the iPad. But what I found really great about Notre Dame is that I was able to bring this project to a bunch of different people on campus. And I mean, wherever I brought this project, people got so excited and passionate about it, just as much as I am passionate about it. So I was able to collaborate with a PhD programming student and actually make a beta in 1 year, development, writing, drawing, illustrating, animating, and then actually coding it. So it got to a beta stage. And I don't think that I would ever have been able to do that if it weren't for kind of the departments here are so enthusiastic about collaboration.
Well, that's great. You were able to have something that was in your childhood and bring it all the way up till now as a graduate student. I think that's something every child wants growing up.
And every adult too. We're all just kind of
imagine.
adult children. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I still think I'm Cinderella. So.
Yeah.
And so what do you love about Notre Dame? You've been here for 2 years now, so where is your heart in it?
I think it's in that kind of multidisciplinary, collaborative, that realm where you, like I said, you can take projects and interests to anyone really on campus, and you have that matched passion. That enthusiasm is really kind of mirrored in other people. The other thing that I really, really enjoy is being kind of on the other end of that. So having people come to me and learning new things, being able to participate in projects that I never would have been able to participate in before. So for example, you guys had Tori Lamb on here earlier. She actually invited me to participate in her program where she used photography and outdoor rec sports and camping and rock climbing to engage youth. I was actually invited to be one of the mentors teaching photography. So I know a little bit about photography, but I learned more about photography and I learned way more about rock climbing than I ever knew before. So kind of collaboration and being able to participate in things I never thought I would be doing.
It sounds like a lot of opportunities. And so everything that you've taken so far at Notre Dame, you have a little bit more time left here. What do you plan on doing after grad school?
Oh, well, I'm not 100% sure.
I know it's a big question.
I'm not 100% sure, but I still see this kind of multidisciplinary route anything that challenges me, basically. So I like to learn. Actually, I have a professor who says something like, if you have these 3 things in your life, you will be happy. 1, if you're making money. 2, if you are learning, and 3, if you're being challenged. If you have 2 of those things, you're great. And if you have 3 of those things, you're like golden. So that's what I want to do, and I think Notre Dame is really setting me up in the challenging and learning new things category. So maybe money will come, but for me, it's really about staying focused on learning and always finding projects that engage me on an intellectual level, but also kind of like, you know, at my heart with those dark fairy tales, and then being able to bring that to maybe a place that doesn't have that. So I think Notre Dame is really amazing in that if an opportunity doesn't exist, they want to make it happen, and I've learned actually that value here at Notre Dame.
Well, it sounds like you have a lot of passion, and you can definitely go far with everything you've got here from Notre Dame. And thank you, Sarah, for joining us. We're going to send it back over to Mike at the Notre Dame Day Anchor Desk.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. Well, the graduate school at Notre Dame is highly selective. I didn't get in, but he did, as a matter of fact. He did. As a matter of fact, it's even harder to be admitted to Notre Dame as a graduate student than as an undergrad. It is no wonder, then, that our graduate students are a competitive group. So tonight, we get to see the fun side of that competitive spirit. We go now to Legends, where Notre Dame grad students and postdoctoral candidates and our reporter, Catherine, have gathered for a live poetry slam and a trivia contest.
Thanks so much. Yep, we're here live at Legends. Just like Notre Dame's undergrads, graduate students occasionally like to take a break from their intellectual pursuits. So quite a number of them are assembled right now for a poetry slam and a trivia contest. We're going to talk to a couple of them now. Hello, what's your name?
I'm Tony Cunningham.
And what's going on tonight? Tell me what's going on.
We're doing a postdoc versus grad student trivia night. It's been a lot of fun. I'm pretty sure the grad students are kicking some butt right now.
That's great. And what are you working on?
I do sleep research. So I'm in the psychology department, and I do sleep research along with this guy over here. So it's pretty fun.
Very cool. Awesome. What about you? What's your name?
I'm Greg Cousins. I'm in the math department here at Notre Dame.
So you guys are the grad students, and you guys are against the postdocs for trivia. Mm-hmm. Okay. And you guys are winning so far?
We don't know.
Okay. You don't know.
Good feeling. Got a good feeling.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thanks so much, guys, and best of luck to you all. I can't take sides, but, you know, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Back to you guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yep. Kevin Vaughn is a first-year graduate student in the doctoral program of sacred music. He's working toward his doctoral in music arts in sacred music.
In fact, he's working so hard, I found out.
Here, yeah.
He's studying.
Yeah.
He took that option as opposed to being with us tonight. So you see, Kevin's going to be a huge success someday. We'll be right back after we take a quick break.
Growing up, I can remember going to work with my dad. In a city where so many things seem to be falling apart, he made his office a place where everyone felt cared for. My dad could have practiced medicine anywhere, but he chose to serve the community and the people who needed him the most. I knew that one day I wanted to serve people in the same way, and that's why I came to Notre Dame.
The University of Notre Dame is committed to educating talented and compassionate medical professionals, sending 1 in every 10 undergraduates on to medical school.
Before I got to Notre Dame, I always thought about medicine as what one doctor could do for one patient. By studying genetics at the Eck Institute, I learned the power that research could have, and I discovered that I could help communities all over the world.
My pre-professional training at Notre Dame created a lifelong commitment to scholarship, love of learning, as well as a devotion to these values for the needs of the patient. Bringing all of these together provided me the preparation to meet any challenge during my 35-year career.
At Notre Dame, our goal is to empower our pre-med students to use science and medicine as tools to make this a healthier and more just world for generations to come.
I present to you Katie Odette Washington for the valedictory.
The University of Notre Dame asks, what would you fight for?
Fighting for the future of medicine.
We are the Fighting Irish.
We all assume that the medicine we take will make us better. This is such a fundamental expectation that it's easy to take it for granted. But here in Kenya, so many patients that I see have purchased substandard or counterfeit medicine. And for many, the consequences have been life-threatening.
Each year, counterfeit and substandard medicines kill over 300,000 people worldwide. At the University of Notre Dame, Professor Maria Lieberman is partnering with St. Mary's College to combat the problem using high-tech paper test cards.
In most countries, healthcare providers lack the financial and technical resources to properly test drugs. The technology we've developed has the power to overcome these obstacles. It puts the capability to detect fake drugs in the hands of doctors, pharmacists, and even consumers.
For just pennies a test, this technology uses colorimetric chemistry to measure the presence of specific ingredients. By simply swiping a pill across the card, distinctive color codes reveal within minutes whether a drug is genuine.
Professor Lieberman's work is so amazing because it creates a way to ensure that patients like mine get the real medicine they so desperately need.
Seeing the difference we're making here in Kenya is incredibly inspiring, and we're excited to empower people everywhere who are victimized by this injustice.
The University of Notre Dame asks, what would you fight for?
Fighting to protect the sick. We are the Fighting Irish.
So we're talking about Kenya, and one of my spotters at the spring football game this year, a doctorate candidate in chemistry from Kenya.
That's pretty
And
good.
this kid knew more football than anybody else. And now we're going to hear from Notre Dame's premier co-ed a cappella group, Halftime. Our own Amanda is with them as they get ready to perform on a Notre Dame performance stage. Amanda?
Thanks, Jeff. I'm here with Lauren Kate, and she's a senior and in halftime, so congratulations on almost graduating. That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about halftime.
So we're a co-ed a cappella group on campus. We sing mostly pop rock music, all covers, and we're really excited to be here, so thank you so much.
And how often do you guys practice?
Twice a week.
Okay, so is that hard with balancing everything, or is it more fun?
It's challenging, but it's really fun. We have some athletes in the group, some engineers, lots of busy schedules, but it's our downtime to just chill out and have fun with one another.
And how did you get involved with halftime?
Halftime sang at my dorm the first day of Frost Show, and once I saw them, I knew I wanted to join, so it was the first thing I did at Notre Dame.
Okay, and tell me a little bit about what you will be singing tonight.
We're going to be singing September, First Made Famous by Earth, Wind, and Fire.
All right, well, go for it. This is halftime.
Love was changing the minds of pretenders while chasing the clouds away. Our hearts were ringing in the key that our souls were singing while dancing the night. Remember how the stars stole the night away.
Very well done.
Nice.
Very well
Nice.
done. I don't even think I sound that good in the shower.
But you try.
I do try.
Yeah.
You know, I once won a little thing at a karaoke night.
Did you?
Yeah, it wasn't much competition. But before we wrap up our live telecast for this hour, we're going to check in with reporter Catherine Dudas at the Notre Dame Social Media Command Center. Catherine?
Thanks so much. I'm here again with Mark and Jonathan, who are going to talk to us a little bit about what's going on with social media this hour. Here you guys.
All right, thank you. And we are coming down to the end of it. Only 1.5 hours left out there for you to go to NotreDameDay.nd.edu, find the big green button and click it. But before you click it, I want you to pay special attention this time to the area a little bit below it where it says University of Notre Dame President's Circle. We want to give a big thank you to the donors and members of the President's Circle who have helped make our Challenge Fund possible for this huge initiative. Once you've read that, head back up to that green button, click it, give and vote. Help your favorite areas of the university win their share of $250,000. Now, we're getting close there to 4,000 donors, I believe, but we'll find out more about that as we go down the line. Next up, Jonathan's going to talk a little bit about what's going on in social media. Jonathan, take it away.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks to all of you for tuning in wherever you are for Notre Dame Day. We're coming to the conclusion here. Thank you so much to everyone who has gone to NotreDameDay.nd.edu, made a gift to the university, and cast your 3 votes for the areas of the university that mean the most to you. If you've already given, thank you so much. We want to get to 4,000 gifts. We want to get to $1 million, and we can do it with your help. Call your friends, call family, tell them to get on board, make their gifts, go to NotreDameDay.nd.edu, and help us cross that 4,000 vote, $1 million threshold. I know we can do it. Let's see what's going on social media. Thanks to all of our over 1,000 social ambassadors for all that you've done over the last 6 weeks. We have a lot of your pictures up on our pick wall right now. You used hashtag NDDay. Great to see so much energy on campus and around the world on this Notre Dame Day. So thanks to all of you out there. Now, as for the leaderboard, how are we doing, Nikki?
Jonathan, another exciting hour. We've got 2 things to highlight this hour. The first is the men of Carroll Hall, victorious in the Residence Hall Challenge last hour. But Jonathan, now for the real exciting stuff. Let's head to the leaderboard for some exciting momentum that we were able to build last hour. We're very, very excited on the cumulative progress here to date. Let's do a refresh and look at that, folks. We're over 3,500 gifts to date. With an hour and a half left, as Jonathan said, make that gift, vote for your 3 areas that are most near and dear to your heart here at Notre Dame, and help the Notre Dame family reach that 4,000 gift total. To do that, what we wanted to do was highlight just what's going on at the top of that leaderboard. And this is some exciting stuff. When we think about what's near and dear to your heart out there, Jonathan, look at the top of that leaderboard. If you look at the 4 of the top 5, we've got residence halls there. So here's where we'd like for all of you to step up to that challenge. Alumni, parents of Knott Hall, Keenan, Morrissey, Stanford. Get on there. As Mark said, click that big green button. Vote for your favorite residence hall and help the Notre Dame family not only reach 4,000 gifts in 30 hours, but help us get to that $1 million mark.
Thank you. Okay, some exciting stuff coming up next hour. We got a visit from Knute Rockne III, a live performance by the Undertones, Brady Quinn, class of 07, live visit to the Log Chapel, and the Notre Dame Alma Mater special performance. So see you back soon for more from Notre Dame Day, live at the top of the next hour.